Hello, my name is Tracy Hart. I'm the CEO of the Osteogenesis Imperfecta Foundation, and today we have the great pleasure of talking with Dr. Laura Tosi from Children's National Hospital. She's the Director of Bone Health there, about PCOR, which is Patient-Centered Outcomes Research. Recently, the OIF was awarded a PCOR, Patient-Centered Outcomes Research Institute Engagement Award. It's a multi-pronged engagement strategy to help patients and caregivers become more involved in the research process. So I am going to turn things over to Dr. Tosi and have her tell us what PCOR is and what is this project.
Thank you, Tracy. I think you've stolen a little of my thunder, but it's great to be with you this afternoon. To me, PCOR, Patient-Centered Outcomes Research, is one of the great innovations of the last decade. What it means is that folks who are trying to understand diagnosis, treatment, prevention of disease are not just sitting in their ivory towers, but they are engaging the patient population, the patient communities, to find out what are the key questions that need to be answered. And it's great to get folks out of their ivory towers because, in fact, any problem is really how you perceive it, not necessarily how some researcher does. So what is our project? That's very exciting. The available literature, the available science on the natural history of osteogenesis imperfecta, what are the best treatments, what are the things to avoid, is very, very limited. And I view our project really as a 50-year commitment, because I think we need to go out and define what are all the problems that patients care about, how can we impact the outcomes better over time. So the long haul, the vision of this project is to not just sort of say, oh yeah, here's a shopping list of what individuals with OI care about. The real issue is to engage the entire OI community, if possible, in an effort to gather research and prioritize what needs to be looked at first, and then gather that, and then create questionnaires and other tools to track that information over time and figure out helpful management solutions. So this is a big deal, and we're really asking for a big commitment from the OI community. But if we can pull this off, I think our community will have far better tools when they go to a hospital, go see their physicians, etc. They'll have real informed data to share, and hopefully that will lead to better quality care.
Now, we know this is important, and you just explained a little bit about that, but tell me more why you think it's so important. You're an orthopedic surgeon. You're the director of the bone health program at Children's National Hospital. Why is it so important to you?
Well, OI as a disorder that I treat has changed monumentally while I've been in practice. When I started out, we didn't have bisphosphonates to give to children. We didn't have good rotting systems. We didn't understand how important pulmonary health is. The list goes on and on. So how to be a good doctor, how to be a helpful physician for someone with OI is changing by the minute. And it's exciting because it's so positive, but we need to track that change, and we need to be able to say, these are the things that are working, and well, maybe these are the things that aren't. And maybe here are some of the problems we never thought about.
So you mentioned questionnaires. You mentioned other tools that we're going to be asking the OI community to help us with, participate in. How is that going to impact someone with OI? I know some people say, well, I've already joined the registry, or I've joined it 3 times, or how is it going to impact this kind of information that we're trying to get from folks? How is it going to impact them, in your opinion?
So over the short term, I think very little, but we are committed to sharing everything we find. At the beginning, we're really going to be looking for priorities. We're going to be looking to help engage the community in participating with our data gathering process. Right now, our registry tools are very, very basic. But if we're successful with this over time, we will build a far stronger registry. And my dream is that we'll actually build a registry that tracks individuals over time, so that we will be able to have far clearer, impactful data about what is happening, what is best for care. I view this a little bit like my retirement plan. You know, it wasn't worth much when I first started out, but you put a little bit in each week, it builds and builds, and thank goodness for compound interest, so to speak, that with each year that goes by, we'll have more data. With each person that joins us and commits and helps us, we will have a richer database. But it's important to understand that it will be slow. But right now, there is so little information that one can really value about how to grow well with OI, grow old well with OI. It's worth the investment, I think. And I want to know, as a clinician, that I'm doing the right thing and I'm giving people the right advice. I want it badly. And I hope the community does too.
That's excellent. We're very lucky you're leading this project. So can you tell us what kind of work has already been done in the field of patient-centered outcomes research? And again, what exactly does that mean, patient-centered outcomes research?
So there's actually, as Tracy alluded to at the beginning, a whole institute that receives government funding called Patient-Centered Outcomes Research Institute that has been working on tools to help groups like ours be successful. One of the things that they have been great about is this engagement award that they have given to us, that we are using to try to educate the community about how we need them. We need the members to participate. We're trying to educate individuals who want to learn about this kind of research. So we're putting some of the money into just plain old-fashioned education. And we are looking very aggressively for ways to actually meet as many of the members of the community as possible to get their input on how we should be doing this. There's no yellow brick road. There's no straight path here. And there's no one person who should be in charge. I'm happy to be the advocate for pushing this forward, but it has to be the patient community that defines the priorities, helps us understand where do we need to build question sets that will answer the questions that are so compelling for individual cohorts within the OI community. Remember, our teenagers have very different questions and demands than our folks who are adults. And certainly as folks are getting into middle and older age, the numbers of questions go sky high. So we have many, many subgroups that we need to be responsive to as well. And what that also says is we need everybody to participate.
So if I'm someone listening to this and am excited about what I've heard and what you've talked about, whether I'm a person with OI or maybe a medical professional that wants to be involved, what are the next steps for people to get involved with this project?
Right. So we have a wonderful web presence underneath the OI Foundation's website that gives a lot of good information. But for the main part, there are two main goals. One, we're hoping that virtually everyone in the OI community will decide to be part of our registry. Once we have that registry and we have just a little bit of demographic information about who signed up, then we want to start sending you queries about various topics as we find our footing. Remember, there is no clear path here. So you may get a questionnaire that says, please rank, or you may get a focus questionnaire that says, okay, we want to know these things about your breathing problems, or not. So we absolutely want everybody to join the registry, or parents or caregivers to join for their children, because that is going to be our way to interface with the community and gather data over time. Then the other thing is, this isn't all going to be command central at the OI Foundation. We are very much looking to teach some of the techniques of PCOR research to, again, patients, caregivers, clinicians, researchers. This is a huge undertaking. This can't be done by one or two people. We are looking for volunteers, and we want to help those volunteers be part of a team and to receive the best education we can help them get.
Great. And when you mentioned the registry, you can find that information on the Osteogenesis Imperfecta Foundation's website at www.oif.org. And right on the homepage there, you'll find a way to join the registry. There'll be a link there for you to join the registry. So any last words for us, Dr. Tosi, about the project or moving forward?
So yes, one last thing. You may think you've signed up for the registry, and you may be right, and you may be wrong, because there have been more than one registry in OI over time. So please do us a favor and attempt to sign in, because you'll find out whether you're already registered or not, and you'll be up to date, because we want to start sending out questionnaires very soon, and we want everybody to be with us at ground zero if possible. This is a big undertaking. Please, please join us.
Excellent. Thank you so much for this really valuable, wonderful information. And again, you can find out more about the project on the OIF's website, www.oif.org. Thank you again, Dr. Tosi.